The distress beacon flickered weakly as the Valkorian scout ship Meridian's Hope limped toward the small blue planet. Commander Jasmine Valthrin gripped the navigation console, her silver skin pale from blood loss. The emergency lights cast crimson shadows across the bridge where her injured crew fought to keep their vessel from breaking apart. "Kevin, how long until we reach orbital range?" she asked, her voice strained. Lieutenant Kevin Shartak checked the failing sensors with his remaining functional arm. 12 minutes, Commander. Hull integrity at 18%. Life support failing. They had been running for 6 cycles, ever since the Krell Armada had ambushed their reconnaissance fleet near the outer rim. The Krell, those insectoid monsters, had decimated Valkyria's finest ships in less than an hour. Jasmine's vessel was the only survivor, and barely that. "This planet, Earth," Jasmine murmured, reading the translator's approximation. "It's listed as pre-contact in the Galactic Registry. Class C civilization, no warp capability." Kevin nodded grimly. "We have no choice. We need repairs or we die in the void." As Meridian's Hope entered Earth's atmosphere, trailing smoke and debris, Jasmine initiated the Universal Distress Protocol. She didn't expect much. Primitives rarely had technology capable of aiding advanced civilizations. At best, they might find raw materials to patch critical systems before attempting the long journey home. The ship crashed in a remote area the humans called Nevada, carving a deep scar across the desert floor. Emergency foam sealed the hull breaches as Jasmine and Kevin evacuated the surviving crew of 12. They had barely activated their emergency shelter when ground vehicles approached primitive combustion-based transports that kicked up dust as they surrounded the crash site. Humans emerged, smaller than Valkyrie, lacking natural armor or obvious weapons. They wore uniforms and carried projectile weapons that seemed almost comically primitive, yet something in their eyes struck Jasmine immediately, not fear, but intense curiosity and calculation. A woman with silver hair and multiple insignias approached cautiously. Through the translator, she introduced herself as General Sarah Martinez. "We come in peace. You're injured. We can help." Jasmine exchanged glances with Kevin. The Galactic Council's protocols forbade interference with pre-contact civilizations, but they were dead either way. "We accept," she said. What happened next defied all Jasmine's expectations. The humans transported them to a massive underground facility. Their medical technology was crude by galactic standards, yet their doctors worked with remarkable adaptability, learning Valkyrie physiology within hours and stabilizing every crew member. Engineers swarmed over the Meridian's Hope, not with ignorant wonder but with systematic precision. "Your power conduits use quantum entanglement," one engineer named Dr. Chen observed, his eyes bright with understanding. "Brilliant. We've theorized this for decades." Kevin watched, astonished, as humans fabricated replacement parts using techniques they invented on the spot. They didn't just repair the ship, they studied it, understood it, improved it. "Commander," he whispered to Jasmine, "these humans, they learn impossibly fast." General Martinez invited them to a briefing room where holographic displays showed Earth's history. Jasmine felt her blood chill as she watched. These humans had survived ice ages, plagues, and global wars. They had split atoms, walked on their moon, and sent probes beyond their solar system, all without outside contact. They were innovators by necessity, survivors by nature. "Tell us about your enemy," Martinez said simply. Jasmine explained the Krell Imperium, their overwhelming numbers, their belief in genetic supremacy, their 100-world conquest. She showed recordings of Krell warships reducing planets to ash. She expected horror, surrender, perhaps a polite request for them to leave. Instead, Martinez smiled coldly. "We know tyranny when we see it." Within 3 weeks, everything changed. Human scientists and Valkyrie engineers worked side by side, combining human ingenuity with galactic technology. They retrofitted the Meridian's Hope with weapons humanity had only imagined: railguns that could fire projectiles at relativistic speeds, plasma torpedoes enhanced with human computational targeting, shields boosted by what humans called adaptive frequency modulation. Kevin supervised the weapons installation, shaking his head in disbelief. "Commander, these humans just invented countermeasures for Krell armor that our scientists couldn't develop in 50 years. But the humans didn't stop there. They built 3 prototype fighters using reverse-engineered Valkyrie technology combined with their own designs. Sleeker, faster, deadlier. And they volunteered pilots." "We're not soldiers," one pilot, a young woman named Captain Rivera, told Jasmine. "We're not part of your war, but we don't like bullies, and we sure as hell don't like genocidal insects who think they're superior." When the Meridian's Hope launched from Earth, it carried not just Valkyrie crew but 12 human volunteers, engineers, pilots, tactical advisors. The ship that had arrived broken and defeated now bristled with hybrid weaponry. In the cargo hold sat the 3 human fighters, which they'd named Defiance, Resolute, and Vengeance. Jasmine stood on the bridge, now fully restored, watching Earth shrink behind them. "Why?" she asked General Martinez through the quantum communicator. "Why help strangers in a war that isn't yours?" Martinez's response came clear and firm. Because someone has to stand up to monsters, and because when we finally reach the stars officially, we want to arrive as friends, not conquerors. Show the galaxy what humanity stands for. 3 months later, Jasmine's reinforced vessel reached Valkyrie space just as a Krell battle group attacked the colony world of Tarsus Prime. The Krell commander broadcast the usual threat, demanding immediate surrender. Instead, he received a response in a language his translator couldn't initially process. English. This is Commander Jasmine Valthrin of Meridian's Hope, accompanied by Terran Defense Initiative. You've got 5 seconds to retreat before we demonstrate why you don't pick fights with humans. The Krell laughed. 1 damaged scout ship against 12 Krell cruisers. Impossible. Then the human fighters deployed, moving with precision that defied Krell tactical predictions. Railguns tore through Krell shields like paper. Adaptive countermeasures neutralized their plasma weapons. Human tactical doctrine honed through centuries of warfare against themselves proved devastatingly effective against an enemy who'd never faced real resistance. Within 20 minutes, 8 Krell ships were destroyed, 4 retreated in chaos. The Krell commander's final transmission was pure confusion. What are you? Captain Rivera's response became legendary across the galaxy. We're humans, and we just evened the odds. News of the battle spread like wildfire through galactic networks. The Valkyrie High Council immediately dispatched ambassadors to Earth. The Krell Imperium, for the first time in 2 centuries, hesitated in their expansion. Other species began asking the same question. Who were these humans? Kevin stood beside Jasmine as they prepared to return to Earth with the Valkyrie diplomatic fleet. We came seeking repairs, he said quietly. They gave us so much more. Jasmine nodded, watching the blue planet grow larger on their view screen. They gave us hope. And they taught us that sometimes the most dangerous thing in the universe isn't the biggest predator or the most advanced weapon. It's someone who refuses to quit. The war wasn't over, but it had changed. And throughout the galaxy a new phrase entered common usage, spoken with equal parts respect and fear. Never underestimate the humans.